Most 6-year-olds spend their mornings watching cartoons and fighting over the last bowl of cereal. This one spent his morning in the White House, surrounded by the President of the United States, the CEOs of Apple and Nvidia, and rockets built to leave the planet. He travels through luxury cars and private jets with high-class security. His name is X Æ A-Xii Musk. His father is the richest man alive, the world's only trillionaire. His uncle is arguably the most powerful man in America. And before this kid could even tie his own shoes, he'd already been photographed inside rocket factories, on world stages, next to presidents and prime ministers. Most children's biggest decision of the day is which toy to play with. His father's decisions can move stock markets by billions before most people finish breakfast. So what's it actually like to be this child? Does he go to school? Does he play like a normal kid? Or was the first chapter of his life already written before he had any say in it? In today's episode, we're going deep into the real life of X Æ A-Xii Musk, his name, his family, his daily world, and the two wildly different realities shaping who he's becoming. Stick around till the end. It gets stranger than you think. It was May of 2020. The whole planet was locked indoors, dealing with a global pandemic, when a single birth announcement briefly made everyone forget about it. Musician Grimes and billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk had welcomed their first son together, and they named him something nobody had ever seen before. Within hours, the name was everywhere. People joked that it looked less like a baby's name and more like a computer password. But according to Grimes, every piece of it had meaning. The X represented an unknown variable. The E was meant to be read as Ash, a nod to artificial intelligence, and in her words, a symbol of love. The final part, a 12, came from Elon, a tribute to the Lockheed A-12, a fast, unarmed spy plane that came before the legendary SR-71. There was just one problem. California law only allows standard English letters in a legal name, so the number 12 had to be swapped for the Roman numeral equivalent. When Elon later sat down with Joe Rogan, he broke the pronunciation down himself, piece by piece, explaining that the letters spelled out a phrase closer to X A-Xii 12. Grimes, interestingly, said it slightly differently, which only added more fuel to the conversation online. Within a single day, a newborn baby had become one of the most searched names in the world before he had opened his eyes for more than a few hours. Most wealthy families hand their newborn a nursery. X was handed a household where a single sentence from his father could reshape global markets. Just days before his birth, one tweet about a stock price being too high wiped out billions in value within hours. A social media post from a couple of years earlier had sent shares soaring more than 10% in a single day. This wasn't a quiet, private household. It was the control room of some of the most disruptive companies on the planet. His father wasn't only building cars and rockets. He was talking openly about creating a self-sustaining city on Mars, forcing electric vehicles into the mainstream, taking over one of the world's biggest social platforms, and building artificial intelligence systems while warning the public about their dangers at the same time. None of that was abstract boardroom talk for X. It was simply the background noise of his infancy, the conversations happening in the next room while he learned to crawl. X's mother is Grimes, whose real name is Claire Bouchy, a musician and artist known for blending technology, futurism, and creativity into her work. She and Elon met in 2018, bonding quickly over shared interests in space, artificial intelligence, and where the world might be headed. Their connection led to X's birth in 2020, followed by a daughter the family calls Y, and a younger son nicknamed Tao, 3 children in total between them. Zoom out further, and Elon Musk's extended family is even bigger. Reports place the total number of his children well into double digits, spread across relationships with his first wife, Justine Wilson, businesswoman Shivan Zylis, and Grimes. So X actually has a long list of half-siblings, but he remains the one who shows up in headlines most often, largely because he's so frequently photographed by his father's side. Elon and Grimes separated in the early 2020s, but continue co-parenting their 3 children together. Grimes has said in interviews that her children carry a rare, almost peaceful energy, while also admitting that keeping them shielded from public attention is an ongoing, difficult effort, one she and Elon don't always see eye to eye on. Now 6 years old, X's daily life looks nothing like a typical first grader's. Instead of a school bus, there are private jets. Instead of a neighborhood park, there are rocket factories and gigafactory production floors. Elon has reportedly taken him to Tesla's plant in Germany, lifted him onto his shoulders while touring the assembly lines, and introduced him to workers as they walked the floor together, earning him the nickname Little Engineer. His toy box looks different too. Instead of ordinary cars and action figures, he's surrounded by rocket models, miniature electric vehicles, and AI-themed gadgets. His mother has described him as unusually fascinated with rockets from an extremely young age, saying he understood the mechanics better than she did, and would get genuinely upset if a toy rocket wasn't built accurately. His education reflects the same philosophy. Elon has been closely involved with alternative schools built around hands-on, project-based learning in science and engineering rather than traditional grades and standardized testing. It's believed X is being raised inside that same model, learning by building, not just by reading. 2 moments turned X from Elon Musk's son into a genuine global talking point. The first was in the Oval Office in early 2025 during a formal event with the sitting president. While an executive order was being signed at the historic Resolute desk, X wandered around the room, completely unfazed by the significance of the moment, and ended up getting more attention online than the actual signing. The second came in May of 2026, when Elon brought him along on a high-level diplomatic trip to Beijing's Great Hall of the People. Surrounded by some of the most powerful business and political figures on Earth, X held his father's hand through the halls, dressed casually, completely unaware that he was, once again, becoming the most talked-about person in the room. Smaller moments have gone viral too. Playful photos, candid videos of him losing interest mid-event, even a lighthearted story Elon told publicly about a mock boxing match between the two of them that left a small mark near his eye. Whatever X does, cameras seem to find it. Behind the headlines is a quieter story. 2 parents who see childhood very differently. Elon's approach is built around exposure and ambition. He wants his children to learn through real experience, factories, engineering, hard problems, rather than through books alone. He's spoken about wanting the next generation, including X, to accomplish even bigger things than he has. Grimes takes a different stance. She's emphasized creativity, imagination, and a more protected, screen-limited upbringing, prioritizing emotional development over early exposure to business and technology. She's been open about wanting her children to have the chance to simply be kids, away from constant comparison and attention. Co-parenting between 2 very different worldviews hasn't always been smooth. Grimes has said publicly that Elon's demanding schedule and love of bringing the kids into high-profile settings sometimes clashes with her preference for a quieter, more private family life. Neither parent is wrong. They're simply building 2 very different blueprints for the same child. Not everything about this story is exciting. Since 2022, there have been real tensions between Elon and Grimes over parenting decisions and how public their children's lives should be. Grimes has spoken candidly about feeling shut out of decisions regarding public appearances, learning about some events only after photos had already spread online. She's described feeling powerless to stop the constant exposure, saying she's tried asking directly and even explored legal options without much success. Her core concern is simple. A child can't consent to fame. He didn't choose the cameras, the headlines, or the constant analysis of his every move that all arrived the moment his name was announced. Elon, on the other hand, appears to see these public moments as a natural part of bonding with his son and preparing him for a much bigger world. Both perspectives are understandable, but somewhere in the middle of that disagreement is a real 6-year-old, simply trying to be a kid while the entire internet watches. Here's the truth that's easy to forget in all of this. X hasn't chosen a career, a company, or an identity yet. He's not a corporate heir or a symbol. He's a child, still figuring out the world one day at a time. He might grow up and step directly into his father's world of rockets and technology. He might lean toward the creative, private life his mother has fought so hard to protect. Or he might carve out something entirely his own that nobody currently expects. What's certain is this: long before he had a say in the matter, the world had already decided he was interesting. The next chapter of his story hasn't been written. And honestly, that might be the most important part of it. Before you go, let us know in the comments. Do you think growing up around this much power and attention helps a kid, or does it end up holding them back? If you found this story as fascinating as we did, do us a favor and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. We bring you a brand new deep dive like this. And if you want to see just how far this family's influence really goes, our next video breaks down the full story of the Musk Trillionaire family, every child, every fortune, and every secret behind the scenes. That video is on the screen.